Hi guys, join me today as we come fly away with me with this new hot air balloon template for Studio Creative Kids. In today's episode, we're going to use a pre-drawn template that you can find at studiocreativekids.com. Just go to the first page, scroll down, and you'll find the template that you can download for free and use with your class or do this at home. Okay, you guys, let's get started. All right, you guys, so here's the supplies that we're going to use. I want to mention that you can find these supplies on my Amazon link listed in the description. So if you're looking for these specific supplies, you can find them there. We're going to use this 11 by 14 cardboard sheet, a little sheet of construction paper. We've got our template from studiocreativekids.com, our Castle Arts color pencils, Montmartre pastels. I've got my Just Art paint markers, scissors, glue, got my little handy dandy robot pencil sharpener because we're going to need that with the color pencils, and the fastener dots that you can get from any local dollar store. All right, you guys, let's begin. So we're going to start with this 11 by 14 cardboard sheet. This is basically going to be our sky background. So we're going to stick to the blues. We don't want it to be too fussy. We're just going to use the pastels because they have a good saturation. They cover very easily, especially if you're doing larger spaces. So I'm going to stick to the blues here. So I'm just going to pick a color. And with pastels, you can color like this. Just move your hand to really spread the color out, or sometimes I like to take it and just, if I want to cover a bigger distance, easier, just kind of turn it to the side. Pastels tend to break easily, so if you break yours, don't worry, it's going to be okay. We just want to create a good basis because on our template we have clouds and we'll have our hot air balloon kind of sit on top of this. So we just want to get a good sky saturation here. We don't have to worry about leaving any white if you don't want to, because we're just gonna make it look like the sky. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get another shade of blue, maybe just a little bit darker. Because I'm using this cardboard, you'll be able to see the lines in the cardboard, but don't worry too much because it's all gonna come together. I hope you guys enjoy using the templates. It'll just help you not have to worry so much about the drawing process and just really kind of immerse yourself in the coloring. It just takes the pressure off and makes the project more fun. I may also just add here and there some pink shades too, just to add a little bit different coloration in my sky. I think I want to go a little brighter pink too. Just recently we had a balloon festival in our city of Natchez, Mississippi. And it is so fun every year to watch people come from near and far to watch the balloons lift off and fill the sky. It's pretty fun. May also add just a little bit of yellows just for funsies, like a nice little sunset. Fun fact about this year's balloon festival, maybe my husband can insert a picture in, but our son Nathan jumped out of the airplane for the first time. He loved it. It was a wild ride. I was a little scared for him, but he was brave and did it and just had a blast. Let's see. Add a little more blue. Alrighty. Alright, you guys, so I have my sky background how I want it to be. I'm gonna go wash my hands, clean up really quick, and then we'll start coloring the rest of our project. Alright, you guys, so we have our templates out. I'm gonna open up my Castle color pencils. There's several different shades here. And I'm gonna get my papers ready. So I'm gonna start with the clouds. So we want to leave the clouds white, but a good way to show just a little hint of color is to get either a cool gray or a lighter shade of blue, and you can just go around your clouds. And I'm keeping very light pressure. So with color pencils, if you want the color to be pretty light, then your pencil pressure reflects that. So right here, I'm doing pretty light pressure. The more I press down on my pencil, watch how dark my shade becomes. So at the top, the lightest pressure, you can imagine maybe not trying to pop a water balloon. So that's super light. And then eventually I'm just gonna keep pressing down on my pencil and it's gonna change that color. Let me sharpen it real quick. I love this little guy. He's in my Amazon cart too, if you guys want to check that out. So I'm just going to go through my clouds, and really all I'm going to do here is just add some little hints of blue because I just really want to keep my clouds mainly white. You can shade around the edges and the curves if you want to. You can also kind of in the middle of the cloud do some little ones of these too. It's your piece of art, so it's good practice to follow your instincts and see how it comes about. So I'm going to set that over here. And now I'm going to color my hot air balloon and my bear. So the idea is to color the bear, and then after we color everything, we're going to attach it and glue it to the back of the basket for the hot air balloon. And then we have his little arms and his little hot air balloon to attach in. I'll show you how to do those. So I'm going to get a basic color on my hot air balloon in my basket, and then I'm going to use my Just Art paint markers to just add the little details, because hot air balloons are super colorful, full of designs, and the sky's the limit on what you can imagine your hot air balloon to look. So here we go. I'm going to go through. I think first I'm going to start with my bear. So I'm going to do that same technique that I just showed you guys, where I'm just going to start a lighter pressure first. I'm just going to kind of outline a little bear and just lightly go through and color it. These Castle color pencils are really so nice in how they color and the texture that you can get with it. While I'm coloring the body of my bear, I'm also going to go and just color in his hands. Don't worry if you go outside the lines a little bit, because we are going to cut these out. So I'm going to go with a little bit heavier pressure on my pencil, and I'm just going to add some little areas here and there that just add a little bit of extra texture and shading to my bear. See that? Do that here, and then also in the hands of my bear. I want to get a little bit of a warmer color. Sorry, not a warmer color, just a lighter shade in the brown beige family. Just add another little shaded element to my bear. And then I want to grab a pink color because I want to add just a little shade of pink in the ears. And then I want to add some in the cheeks too. Look how cute that is, you guys. I'm going to give it a little bit of a rosy color. When you're coloring, I always suggest that you start with a lighter shade and then go darker, because it's really hard to come back from a darker shade if you go dark first and it ends up being too heavy. while I have my brown out, I'm gonna go ahead and color in my baskets. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put a little bit of heavier pressure around these lines on this basket and go with a little bit of a heavier pressure to outline this. And then I'm gonna lightly color this in along the way. Do you see how just going in with that heavier pressure on this side gives it a little shaded look? And then I'm gonna go back to that warmer tone, lighter tone of brown. I don't know why I keep saying warmer. My brain is trying to catch up with what my hand wants to do in color. Just add a little shading to it. All right. And I think I want the bow on either side to be a shade of blue. And then I also want to carry this shade of blue over to this little hot air balloon. Okay, now I'm gonna pick a darker shade. And just add, whoa. I'm gonna add that deeper pressure to get my shaded look. See how fast this is coloring up? It's really coming together pretty quickly. Let's see. The kids in my studio use these markers, so all the colors are kind of in different spots. Not all the shades are together, but that's okay. That means that they're well used and well left. So cute. All right, so now that I have that colored, I've got to decide what color I want my hot air balloon to be. I think what I'm gonna do is go into the yellow orangey family. So I'm gonna do this outer one, these two outer pieces, the same color. And I'm just going with lighter pressure just to get the coverage I want. So I'm going to go back with my paint markers and add detail. Now I'm just pressing a little heavier with my colored pencil so you can see the difference in that. You can always practice this on a different sheet of paper so that you can try out your pencil pressure first before you go directly to your piece of art. But the good news is, since these are printable, if you feel like you've made a mistake or you want to start over, you can. All right, now what coverage I want on this one. And I can go in and add my extra pencil pressure. Since I'm in the yellow, I can always grab a shade in the orange family and just here and there go through and add some more shading to my hot air balloon. Isn't that so cool? All right, let me think what color I would like to complement this yellowy orange. I'm going to go in the green family and get this shaded green. I like the idea that the bear loves flying on the hot air balloon so much that he made his own little hot air balloon to bring it up, take it on a flight. like that color. Might go with a little bit of a deeper green. With a deeper pressure on my pencil. And just add this shading in here. All right, well, I'm gonna change it up completely on this bottom band. And I'm gonna go for a red color. I'm gonna color it in with light pressure. And then we'll go back and add the shaded details. All right, let's add that deeper pressure here. Okay, I'm gonna get a complementary color that's a little bit darker. Shade it in here. Might even take this reddish color down here on my basket and just add like a little blip of color down here. All right. I'm gonna set these aside. I like that they have the little handles that they easily go back in. I'm gonna set my scissors here. So I'm gonna take my Just Art paint markers and I'm going to add some little designs in here. So with hot air balloons, you can go with stripes across, or you can make each section its own little design. So let's see what I want to do here. I think in this section, I'm gonna make some stripes that go across here. I can even take a lighter shade of green. I love these because they do have so many different shades. Okay. Let's see, in my yellow, just might do some circles inside there. We'll go over it with a lighter shade to make them come out a little bit more. On this one, I may even go another shade lighter because these are a little bit hard to see. Coloring and picking your colors is very experimental. You may get in there and find that it's not working like this. So let's do this. That's better. All right. Since I changed that, I may go back in here and just bring out these a little bit more too. All right, you guys, let's cut everything out and let's see what we've got. Let's see. Okay, if you've watched previous videos, you know I don't cut directly on the line. I like for the black outline to show, so I'm going to give some space between the black outline and where I'm cutting. Got all my extra pieces cut out. For the bear, I want you guys to leave just a little space underneath so that we can glue him to the back of the basket. All right, let me throw all these extra scraps away and then we'll start piecing everything together. All right, so what we want to do is when we get our board and all our little pieces, I'm gonna open up my fastener dots. Get a little sheet of those out. Okay, so we have the black construction paper. So what we want to do with that is we just need a few thin strips of it because we want to use this to be the connector between the top of the balloon and the basket. So I think if you just do 2 really thin pieces, then we can cut them to length that we want. So I'm going to get our glue. Sometimes I like to take just a little spot on where I'm working and just do a little spot of glue because I can dip into that. All right, so first what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip our balloon upside down and we're just gonna take our fastener dots and just maybe put a set of 3 on there because that's gonna be our first piece that we wanna set in place while we decide, you know what, I might do 4. Right. I want to set my balloon kind of at an angle. And then what I want to do is take my basket. I'm going to take my little bear piece, dip it in that little glue space, and just decide. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Ah, so sweet. So I've got my bear in there. Just wipe the extra glue on my apron. And then I've got my little hot air balloons. I'm gonna dip that in my glue there. And maybe I'll have his little hot air balloon tilted that way. So I'm gonna take the little hands. Gonna have them there. Here. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so sweet. Once you glue them, you can kind of bend them up a little bit to kind of make it look. This is like so sweet. Look at that. You can even, if you want your hot air balloon to show a little bit more, you can slide it up higher. Put it up a little bit higher there. Okay. So there is our little bear. And you can even take the bows and kind of crinkle them a little bit if you want to show movement, like if it's as if it's really flying in the air. me cut this one up a little bit higher. Just kind of bend them. And then what we'll do is we'll take 2 glue dots there. We'll do one at the top of the bear. We'll do one at the bottom of the basket. And then we'll set them on there. Maybe just a little bit lower. And then you can kind of, again, just bend your bow however you want to. And then I'm gonna take my little pieces of black construction paper and I'll dip them in my glue and just connect them. And this one, I'll just put some glue on my finger. And we're just gonna connect it to the basket. All the way around. There. Here, wait, I'm gonna make this a little shorter. You see I'm getting pastel on my hand, so don't worry. If you get a little bit of messy, it's part of being an artist, right? I'm sure there's an easier way to connect these, but you know, I like to figure things out as I go. Let's see. Here, I'm gonna just put some glue both ends there, and we'll connect. Maybe Mr. Dustin can put some funny music behind this part. Oh my gosh, okay. It's making me wrestle it. There's there. One more set. All right, you guys. I'm gonna connect this last side. All right. Perfect. Okay, that one got glued down. All right, so now what we're gonna do is just kind of decide where we want our clouds to be. I kind of like the thought of him going through a cloud here. So we can take our fastener dots and we're just gonna put one on either side of the cloud. And I love the look of them just setting off the page a little bit because it just makes you feel like the piece of art has movement to it. And then we have our two small ones. You can just put one on each of those. And then we're gonna be done. Let's put this little guy right here. And let's, whoops. Let's put that little guy right there. Oh my goodness, I love it. We can always take our black Sharpie and color in the little extra details. All right, and so the last thing we need to do is sign our piece of art. All right, you guys, here it is. Here's our piece of art. Isn't it so cute? I love it so much. Thank you so much for tagging along with me as we come and fly away. and explore our new hot air balloon template. If you decide to do this, I'd love for you to tag me in your art or send me pictures of what you do. Thank you guys so much for supporting Studio Creative Kids. Check out Miss Lou Studio Creative on Facebook. You can see what my students are up to there every week. I post every day at the studio what I'm working with my private students. You'll get to see them and how art has impacted their life. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode of Studio Creative Kids. Isn't it so sweet?